Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. Coming from like an editorial and advertising photography background, that's what my degree is in, I'm obsessed with adverts. I'm obsessed with print adverts, I'm obsessed with TV adverts, not so much like short form, like no offense to myself, but influencer adverts, I don't care. But I'm obsessed with concepts. I love a good concept. And there are some really clever adverts out there, like some of my favourite adverts are directed by photographers like David LaChapelle, for example, but there are also some really awful adverts that are so bad that they actually get banned, taken down to never be seen again. So today I want to go through some of those controversial adverts, why they were controversial, kind of what the brand is up to nowadays as well, whilst I'm going to do my skincare routine. Listen, I'm getting dry. I've washed my face with a Make Succulent something wash, put these in my hair to keep my hair out of the way. I know it doesn't look good, it's just efficient. And I'm gonna rehydrate my skin with the Kind Atmosphere Biome Mist from Super Egg. This is a brand I'm gonna be talking about more because I'm coming towards the end of testing their products now. But I love this mist, and their moisturizer is amazing as well. Sorry, I bit my tongue before filming, it feels a bit swollen. Can't talk properly. And I'm going to go straight in with the Saro de Rue and Gothamisa Essence. I'm on my second bottle now. I love this stuff. And 62% enhanced black ginseng water. It just feels hydrating, firming. It's so nice. So let's talk about a brand who I feel, whilst doesn't have the most banned adverts, that's a brand I will talk about in a bit, it is known for its not so much controversial as, but constantly missing the mark and not fucking thinking before posting an advert, and that is Nivea. We're going to be talking about their White is Purity advert. So back in 2017, Nivea posted this advert on their Facebook group, which was the Middle Eastern Facebook group. Page even, it wasn't a group. So this is an advert for their invisible deodorant, with its main selling point being the fact that it doesn't rub off on black clothing and it doesn't leave like yellow stains on white clothing. So it went with a caption, keep it clean, keep it bright, don't let anything ruin it. Fine. And then in big navy blue writing, they wrote White is Purity across the model. Now, they're fucking idiots. I think it's pretty obvious why this caused outrage, especially when posted on a Middle Eastern Facebook page. Not that this would have made it any better, but the picture wasn't often accompanied by the caption, because the tagline alone is enough to cause massive outrage. So of course many commented on how extremely racist this, I'm laughing because it's so stupid, like who posts this and think that this is okay? Many commented and complained on how racist this advert was, inciting hate and white supremacy, and that wasn't actually just them, oh my god, white supremacists are gonna go crazy for this. It actually did. Like, white supremacists were like, oh my god, our brand, Nivea. So many alt-right Facebook pages and Twitter accounts actually took this ad, created memes, and calling Nivea the moisturizer antiperspirant of the alt-right. So, of course, Nivea made a statement. They said there have been concerns risen about ethnic discrimination due to a post about Nivea deodorant invisible for black and white on our Nivea Middle East Facebook page. We are deeply sorry to anyone who may take offense to this specific post. After realizing that the post was misleading, it was immediately withdrawn. They continue to say diversity and equal opportunity are crucial values of Nivea. The brand represents diversity, tolerance, and equal opportunity. We value difference. Direct or indirect discrimination must be ruled out in all decisions by and in all areas of our activities. They say after realizing that the post was misleading, it was immediately withdrawn. I don't think misleading is the right word at all. I have a hard time believing that they didn't know what they were doing. Kind of like outrage marketing. The tagline, White is Purity, is clearly gonna read as something extremely racist. Like it doesn't, when targeted at a particular group. Misleading would be 100% invisible deodorant because you can't see it. I've used it, it's shit. That would be misleading because that's not actually what the product is. There's a very big difference between misleading and what they did. And Nivea have done this before in one campaign promoting racist stereotypes of African American men in their US Give a Damn campaign and their African campaign for their natural fairness creams. And most recently they come under fire for making homophobic comments when it came to their adverts and their marketing materials. They are a brand I do not deal with because they just don't seem to learn. To this day, I still get tagged in other content creators, people who uses Nivea products. Use Nivea, it's fine. As a gay man, a person of colour, I will not choose to use Nivea for my personal reasons. It's all personal. Use what you want. I mentioned that Nivea had quite a few controversial ads, but they are not the worst brand by far. The next brand we're going to talk about has the most banned adverts known in existence, and that is Lynx, or Axe as it's known in the US. So yeah, it's called Lynx here in the UK, but I'm going to be calling it Axe because this advert I'm about to discuss was a US advert, and the majority of ads that are banned are actually US only adverts. Axe are known, honestly, for their pretty sexist advertising. It's very lads on tour type kind of stuff. They were really popular when like Loaded magazine, FHM magazine were, you know, the best-selling magazines around like back in the early to mid 2000s, with the ads often depicting purposely casted average-looking men using Axe spray and all the women around them going crazy for them because this Axe spray kind of acted like a woman magnet with very sexual I was gonna say undertones, but it's not sexual undertones, it's like overtones of sex, you know? And that's what pretty much got all their adverts banned, is that they were far too sexual. We know that sex sells in advertising, but then Axe was on another level. Another thing they're known for is their banned adverts, often pushing the boundaries between sexual attraction and honestly. One of the more notable banned TV adverts was from 2003, and I'm pretty sure it was for like their ice or cool something body spray. You can't find this advert anywhere. They've done a very good job at taking it down. So I will play a few clips of other Axe banned adverts while I talk about this one, just so you get a general idea of what their videos look like. This advert showed a group of men getting all worked up, sweating and unable to focus. I believe they were like in a library or an office because they were distracted by these beautiful women around them. And they were sweating. You could see them like getting like almost like angry and raged up. But luckily they have their Axe body spray around them to help cool them down. And then the advert finishes on this tagline: "It helps guys keep their cool before it's too late." The advert was of course banned because of the kind of very obvious and weird decision to make a tagline around victim blaming and, of course, with all Axe adverts, sexism, due to the appearance of the women in the adverts and what they usually wear. I think Axe purposefully make ads to stir up controversy, what they did in the past, and purposely get them banned, because then people would go looking for them. They'd be like, Axe banned advert, meaning a lot more people saw it than they probably would have if the advert wasn't banned. A lot of them were extremely sexist, overly sexual, and poked fun at religion as well. They dropped this style of advertising back in 2017, and I have to say, I like what they've done with their adverts, especially in the last few years. Their adverts have been great at being inclusive, diverse, showing queer people of all ages, while still targeting their main demographic, which, let's be honest, is straight cisgendered men in the early teens to their 20s. They still depict the guy ending up with the woman who is attracted to his scent, but it's done in a way that's much more innocent, with the women in the adverts being so diverse, very average, everyday looking people wearing clothes, which is nice. I think they do a great job nowadays of targeting their main demographic whilst welcoming others as well. Oh, skincare, I forgot I was doing it for a minute then. I'm going to use a serum which isn't for sale, it's just one I kind of made for fun with Perito when I went to Korea. It's the Outstanding Skin Serum, handcrafted by me. It's just a serum that's going to help calm my skin of redness, help hydrate at the same time as well. I've been really enjoying it. We can't talk about controversial adverts without this travesty of a Dove soap advert. And I say that because the full-length version of this advert was really good, but what they did was crop this advert and it became something completely different when they posted it on their Facebook page. Facebook doesn't seem like a good place to be posting adverts right now. So this short video, often posted as a GIF, was posted on Dove's Facebook page and depicts a black woman taking off her top and turning herself into a white woman. Well, that's what everybody said it looked like. Now, this was taken very out of context, like I said. This is from a bigger advert. Not that that makes this okay. The advert is very misleading, but what this short Facebook version of the advert hints at and suggests is that using their products will make your skin white, according to the complaints in the comments of the video. Of course, this advert received thousands of complaints, and Dove took it down pretty immediately and issued an apology. They tweeted, "An image we recently posted on Facebook missed the mark in representing women of colour thoughtfully. We deeply regret the offence it caused." In a further statement, Dove said, as part of a campaign for Dove body wash, a 3-second video clip was posted to the US Facebook page. This did not represent the diversity of real beauty, which is something Dove is passionate about and is core to our beliefs, and it should not have happened. We have removed this post and have not published any other related content. We apologise deeply and sincerely for the events that it's caused. One thing I think they say, which I think they understand what the mistake was, you can clearly see they understand, is they say, "We missed the mark in representing women of colour thoughtfully." Obviously, if you understand the concept of the advert, you know that all they're doing is trying to show that women of all colour, all types of person across the world, through all demographics, can use their products. What they didn't think about was how this would look to other people, certain demographics. You know, symbolism exists, and to certain people, it may not come across as racist, but a lot of black women connected this to racist comments they've received in their life. And of course they would. This black woman looks like she's literally stripping her skin and becoming a white woman. This was such a huge controversy here in the UK that the model, Lola Oguniemi, did a sort of media tour, not standing up for Dove, but trying to explain and put more into context what really happened. She states that she loved the original 30-second TV advert and was so happy to be part of this campaign and loved the concept that all skin deserves greatness. And the original 30-second advert, like Dove always do, put that across perfectly. Dove usually lead the way for diversity and making people feel good about themselves, no matter who they are, what they look like. She actually loved the short video depicting her turning into a white model, who then turned into an Asian model, and then that went round in a loop. So it wasn't necessary that Lola herself was the starting model. It kind of looped around. She says that she felt she had to speak up for the brand after being tagged in the video, being contacted by friends, by seeing the controversy that it stirred up online. Her personal words saying that she believes the whole thing had been taken out of proportion and the whole concept was about the diverse people who can use the products. But she does understand that in context, it does come across as racist. And this is something they faced before. She says that there should be a team who are put into place who check these ads before they are published. My best friend actually owns a company called the Diversity Standard Collective, and this is me talking now, and they work with brands to ensure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen, but more importantly, that a brand are truthfully representing a diverse group, whoever that may be. And I think I got this right, but before the advert is even released, whatever demographic is involved within that video, it's played to them. They're all being paid for their contribution, and they get to say whether or not they feel like they are being represented truthfully, naturally. You know, they're not trying too hard to kind of shovel kind of like minorities into one video, you know. And I feel like if this ad was played in front of, say, 100 black women before publishing this video, the racist undertones would have been pointed out instantly. I feel like some brands can get lost in their concept. They'd be like, this is a great idea, we covered all bases, without kind of thinking about how it may look to other people and how it may look to certain groups, or how their bigger concept, when put into a smaller concept, can have a very different story to their main 30-second advert, for example. Okay, next I'm gonna refresh, rehydrate again with a super egg kind atmosphere. And I'm gonna go in and hydrate even more with the Experiment Super Saturated Barrier Support Serum with 30% glycerin. You can see I've been using it up. They sent me the lab sample, which I kept earlier on in the year. So I've actually been using this for the best part of a year, even though it's only just been released. Because people were asking, how do you know you love it? I've been using it for a very long time. And glycerin being the more superior hydrator. It's a little bit sticky because of the glycerin, I think, but that stickiness goes. But it just makes you so nicely hydrated. And this sort of thickness to it really feels like it's taking care of all like the drier areas on my face too, if you get what I mean. I don't think that makes sense, sorry. Let's talk about one of the first times an advert was banned for being overly photoshopped. This is a banned Lancome ad in 2011. We saw a real upspike in beauty brands and beauty ads being banned for depicting unrealistic results. And 2 years later from that, in 2013, ads had to legally and very prominently declare when they've been using things like false lashes in mascara adverts, when the image had been altered in any way. So from 2011 to 2013, a lot of advertising standards had changed. But one of the earliest and most popular examples of a banned advert for being overly photoshopped was this Lancome ad featuring Julia Roberts, shot by the amazing Mario Testino, one of my favorite photographers. He did that iconic shoot of Lady Diana, Princess Diana, and of Kate Moss. I think everyone's seen these pictures. But anyway, the UK Advertising Standards Association were like, look, Julia Roberts, she's stunning, national treasure, my words, not theirs. We love her, but we know she doesn't look like this. She doesn't look like, everyone knows she doesn't look like this. They were like, we personally don't believe that Lancome makeup on its own is enough to change someone's appearance as drastically as this. And this is a time when celebrity Photoshop before and afters for adverts and magazines were being leaked. Like, people were being able to see how much can be done to tweak someone's appearance. This was a time where one of the most popular TV shows was America's Next Top Model, and they do a Photoshop challenge, you know? So the public were very, very aware of what Photoshop was and sort of the extent of what it can do. Everyone called it airbrushing back then. You know, any tweak that we made was airbrushing. But it was Lib Dem MP Joe Swinson who actually spurred on this campaign to have the Advertising Standards Association ban the images of this Lancome campaign. And this was something that she was striving for, not just for this campaign, but overall. She was trying to ban images of overly perfected and unrealistic images of women in advertising. The foundation actually featured in this advert said that it can make create a natural light on your face, or some natural luminosity that radiates from the skin, as well as it being advertised as an anti-aging product. And the ad shows us that a clearly very different looking Julia Roberts, looking overly bright, overly radiant, with not so much as a single pore on her face. With Swinson saying that not only is this ad a perfect example of an advert that promotes a false beauty standard, but also doesn't depict what the product is actually capable of doing. Fake results, fake advertising. So after filing the complaint, L'Oreal UK admitted the images had been digitally retouched to lighten the skin, clean up makeup, reduce dark shadows and shading around the eyes, smoothing the lips and darkening the eyebrows. But they go on to say the image accurately illustrated the achievable results. You know you're lying. The ASA were given a red carpet picture of Julia Roberts to show that, you know, she was naturally stunning. She was a stunning woman, but she looked very, very different to what the Lancome campaign showed she looked like. There was such a huge difference that the ASA actually asked for the unretouched pictures of Julia Roberts. However, they were not allowed to see the pre-production pictures of Roberts due to something written in her contract. This usually means that the production company, the photographer, Julia Roberts herself and her team kind of had an agreed level of retouching when it comes to her photo shoots. The ASA said, on the basis of the evidence we have received, we could not conclude that the ad image accurately illustrated what effect the product could achieve, and that the image had not been exaggerated by digital post-production techniques. So L'Oreal were forced to pull the Lancome campaign. Good, I say. Good. And I think rightfully so. I'm going to finish with a light moisturiser. This is the Slushy Serum Moisturiser Crush from In Beauty Project. The look of dewy, smooth, clear skin. Filters away pores, rough and dull skin. I've seen good results of this online. However, I'm just starting to try it. So we'll see how much I like it later down the line. And as I mentioned, this then kind of got everyone going, you know, like keeping an eye on campaigns and how digitally altered they really have been and what's achievable in Photoshop. When you look at these before and afters of celebrities, often you'll find a few things. First thing, they don't look bad at all in their before picture. Like, at all, there's nothing wrong with them. But when you've seen the afters and it's like they've created this person that doesn't exist and this amazing beauty, you can kind of like start to poke holes in yourself and at the person, be like, oh yeah, I can see like their skin's a bit rough here, or they got dark circles here, you know, all stuff that had we not seen the after, we probably wouldn't have noticed or even cared about. I forgot what I was talking about, but oh well, oh, my skin feels really smooth. I like that a fair bit. And I'm going to finish with fragrance. This is Blanche, I think, by Byredo. Is a very light linen, everyday morning scent. Oh gosh, I sprayed that on my clothes. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Something a little bit different. There's tons more. There's so many more adverts like this that I wanted to go through, but I want to keep this relatively short, you know. Check out my Instagram versus reality playlist here and some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.